everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, the passing game will be a focus. The Colts are #1 in forcing interceptions, and they'll be up against the Raiders team that will need to avoid those turnovers.
Larry, from the heartland of America, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Indianapolis Colts. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Doing there is he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Now flags will come in. I think 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. From the gun, Kennedy. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Now only needed a yard, instead went backwards. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
They'll set up to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Throw left side, complete to Ross. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. Yeah, he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing on 1st down. Kennedy. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first. Well,
now they'll try the end around. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A 4-yard pickup that gets him going forward, but still 15 yards left on third down. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down.
Here we go.
Throwing on third and long. Kennedy firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
First down, he'll drop to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make this a second down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. There's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13.
Here we go now.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they try the right side here. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now.
All right, here we go. Green. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. No. Check. Patriot.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Out of the gun now on third down. And he's got his man on the out route. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Green 39! Green 39!
And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
Leopard! Leopard!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Two minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time.
And he takes it in for a Colts score. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are in for 6. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. He'll be dropped at the 30. And a shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down, Kennedy. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. On 1st and 10, Kennedy. And this is incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. 2nd down here after the incomplete pass. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
Come on, let's go!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Kennedy throwing the out route incomplete. That's Ward. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Play action. Kennedy. Looking to get it to Ward. Intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. He's got daylight. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
And now it's blocked. Oh, the Raiders have it, but he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now, much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
So out come the Raiders. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So the D-line's going to spread out. On first down, Kennedy is going to flip one out here to his running back. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a handoff looking right. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13.
Let's go.
Operating from the gun. Kennedy. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And now look at him go. He's at the 50, the 30, 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Kennedy. And this one's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Off play action. Kennedy. Going up top. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off here, the 32. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Now they try the right side here. Trucks throw him.
Oh, man.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And this one through the uprights and good. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Kennedy. Looking left sideline. It's complete. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So following the penalty, now 1st and 5. From the gun, Kennedy. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Red zone opportunity. inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Here's a toss coming right. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the one. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the two-point attempt is turned aside. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the fourth. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't...
And nothing but daylight ahead. The 20, 10, touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His third touchdown of the game and fifth on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out.
What's tight end? Ohio! Here we go!
Throwing on first down. Kennedy over the middle. It's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Here we go!
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
First and 10. Kennedy, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Colts pick it up. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now let's go! Green!
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Colts send out their punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the...
Under pressure, they got him again. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at about the 31.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Throw left side complete. That's Ross. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. Everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Come on, let's go. Hut, what?
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. To throw again. Kennedy. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to get this one all the way up to the 35-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. On 1st down, Kennedy. Left side, it's complete. He's got it. And the ball is knocked out. Or call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Kennedy. Hard throw, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Let's go. What? Nine. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Here we go. Grand 38. Grand 38. Flex round. Flex round.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Check one set. Check one set. Flex round. Flex round. Here we go.
Operating from the gun, Kennedy. And that one drops to the ground, incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands up, and he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 19. Off the play fake. Kennedy. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And now here comes their final timeout, as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Come on, let's go. Flex round. You got 4. You got 4. Flex round. Switch. Switch.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And no escaping this time, as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season,